Hello, this is Carrie Rhoades with another scrapbookpal.com video. Today I am excited to be showing off a brand new stamp set from Avery Elle. It's the Peek-a-Boo Boat stamp set. I love the entire Peek-a-Boo line from Avery Elle, so I was excited to do this video, and I'm pairing it with the Peek-a-Boo Summer Pals because they just go perfectly together. Here are all the images that I have stamped out on some white cardstock with Copic friendly ink, and I will jump right into coloring these up. I have the markers on the screen as I color, and I will also have them at the end so you can see every color that I've used. I am a very simple Copic colorist. I like to do 2, sometimes 3 color blends, and I just like to keep it simple. I don't do a lot of fancy techniques, and so I like to show some of my coloring so that maybe you're the same as me and not like a professional Copic colorist, and I just want you to know that that's okay. You can have fun with these markers even if you don't know all the techniques yet, and you can keep it simple. So I am moving on to the flamingo now with RV13 as my darkest color, and I like to do a line and then just kind of color that out a little bit, and that way when I color over the color I've laid down first with the same color, I'm going to get kind of 2 shades of that same color, because where I color over the top of it will be a little bit darker than the first time. And then I'm coming in with my second marker and laying down that lighter shade. And next for the beak, I had to go look up what a flamingo beak looks like. And so it starts out black and kind of fades, sometimes into white and sometimes into pink. So here I am actually using 4 different Copic markers, all tonal grays, 8, 6, 4, and 2. And then I'll come in with my RV21, which is the lightest color on my flamingo, and blend that into the gray, and it looks amazing. So here are all the images that I colored in with these 2 stamp sets for today's card, and you can see the markers there on the screen. If you like to know every single color, you can see all the reds I used, you can see those fun blues that I used, and sometimes I use the darker marker on some areas, and sometimes I just use 2. So like on the water, I used all 4 of those B markers, but on the whale, I only used 2, and you can see on the whale there that I even used some gray on him. So also, I wanted you to know that the inner tubes on both stamp sets are exactly the same shape. So if you have the Peek-a-Boo Summer Pals, you can use your die from that set. Like if you wanted to stamp 2 inner tubes, you can die cut them both at the same time. I love that. Plus there's a little die to cut the slit in the inner tube. Now I am bringing in some rectangles that I cut with the large Slimline die set from Fawn, and I'm going to do some ink blending. This panel right here is going to be the water. So I'm using Salty Ocean, perfect for this project, right? And just blending that out with a blending tool. Here I am using the traditional style blending tool because I get heavy ink coverage, which is what I wanted. And now I'm going to spritz that with water to get the splatter because it's my favorite thing about Distress Oxide. And then I'll pick that up with the paper towel and you'll see the magic. Now I have the Avery Elle clear shimmer spray, and I shook that up, and then I'm just using the spray nozzle and pulling that out and flicking on some of that shimmer. Once that's dry, I have these Slimline hillside stitched borders that I'm going to use from Fawn to cut my little wave, and then I used my blending tool with just the ink that's already on it to kind of soften out the whitest parts of that. But look how good that matches the water I colored on my boat. I was so excited. Now I have mustard seed. I'm just going to blend a little circle in the corner to be the sun. Simple, easy, but I decided it also needed some splatter. So I did that. Pick that up with my paper towel, and there we go. So next I have the Cloudy Matte die from Avery Elle. It die cuts like the front panel of a card, but you also get all these fallout pieces of clouds. So I have them saved in a little pouch, and today I'm going to use them as if they are masks. So I've put 3 different sizes down, and then I'm coming in with my tumbled glass and a makeup style blending brush and blending over the top of these. So I'm going to have a little dusting of blue in the sky, and then I'll have some white clouds once I peel off those masks that I kind of repurposed, right? And I'm just blending those edges out so they're nice and soft, not worrying about getting full coverage of blue in the sky, just like a little dusting of ink there. And then we'll remove those and look at the cool white clouds. I had stuck those on with temporary adhesive. Some of it stuck to the paper and I was able to get that off with an adhesive eraser, easy peasy. All right, so let's bring back that Peek-a-Boo boat stamp set and do a sentiment. This says, speeding by to say boatloads of birthday wishes. And I'm going to stamp that inside my Misty and use that salty ocean ink. So I have the two colors of blue in the sky there. And I did stamp that actually 3 times to get the good ink coverage that I wanted. I think I only show you 2 here, but yeah, I like to be sure that it's dark enough. I'm taking that wave and putting some foam tape on the back. I won't mount it just yet because I want to kind of play around with placement of all my things. Now, I thought that the little seahorse was going to be on the front of this card and kind of be an onlooker to this fun boating scene, but I ran out of room on a Slimline card. I ran out of room. I think that's a first. It might be. Crazier things have happened, but I was sad about that. So I ended up using that little seahorse on the inside of the card. You can see I have my little hammerhead shark now inside the inner tube and his little fins holding on, and then the other tube gets the flamingo. I'll stick that into this yellow tube and he is adorable. I just love the bright colors on this card. And now his wings, I had a little trouble with. Like, I was like, these look wrong. Why do they look wrong? Well, you need to have like the ruffle of the feather facing away from the flamingo. So if you have trouble with your wings, that's probably why. So I went ahead and glued those into place. I just love the beak on that flamingo. Amazing. All right, and then the whale is going to be driving the boat. Look how cute he is. He's so pleased with himself. And then I only added one of the fins for him. The other one just seemed unnecessary. So I didn't use that one, and I'll glue this one into place like he's just hanging out, got his fin over the side of the boat, chilling. And the little flag. I masked the word ahoy from the stamp set to fit it on that flag. And then I have these little flying fish. I also looked up flying fish, and some of them seem to have a little pink tint to them. So I tried to add a little pink to them as well. And I thought they turned out pretty cute. And then we are going to stick on all the things. So the boat is getting put down and put in place. And then the 2 inner tubes, I'm actually going to glue them together. So I'll arrange them how I want and glue them together so that they're like now one piece. And once I have those right where I want them, I decided I would go ahead and pop those up. So now I'm gonna have 2 layers of foam on this card, but I like extra dimension. So I'm also using those foam squares to kind of hold those little critters into their tubes. I like that extra bit of security that way. So I'll stick everything down once I have it right where I want so that the words show. Adjusting, and then once those are stuck down, then I want to stick this entire panel down to my sky background. So I needed to put some foam squares behind like the heads of the animals. So you'll see me do that after I add these little splashes. I think those just really add to the scene. A little too much glue there. And so you'll see I put some foam adhesive behind their heads. Now, the flamingo and the hammerhead shark were already popped up, so they needed to have 2 layers of foam behind their heads. So just make a mental note of that when you're adding extra layers of dimension. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and add this to a layer and a card base. And you'll see that here. I put the dimensions on the screen for you. And then I am adding some rope. So my husband came in right when I was doing this and said I should use actual rope. I thought I might draw some little strings with like a black liner pen, but he said, no, I should use some actual like twine. So I found this little like, it's like twine, but almost like rope from like something came to me tied up with this. So I've saved it, and there you go. And there's the inside of the card. I used the other half of the die cut where I cut out the wave for the front of the card and just cut it again. And then I had this wonky middle piece that then became the second layer of this wave in the inside of my card. And from the Peek-a-Boo Summer Pals, I stamped a sentiment on the inside that says, "Wishing you sunny days." I added a little bit of white gel pen to just bring some highlights to all these images. They're, you know, out in the sun and getting wet, and so I felt like some white highlights were very needed and necessary on this card. Once I get those all in place, I even put one on the sun. I want to show you and make sure you notice that I added some glossy accents to the water under the boat, to the little splashes, and to those flying fish. And that just really helps that look of the wet water. All right, done with the gel pen, and I'll hold this up for you so you can see all that glossy accents that I added there. So cool. I am so pleased with how this card came out. I think the Peek-a-Boo boat set is so much fun. So that's it for today's video. I hope that you have enjoyed it and that you're finding some enjoyable things to do this summer, even under the current circumstances. Maybe you're staying inside and stamping like me. Anyways, have a happy summer and check out the Scrapbook Pal store and blog for more products and inspiration from Avery Elle. Happy stamping. Bye.